Hi and welcome. That's Father Purcell, the most boring priest in the world in Father Ted, and he just kept on going about boilers. With that in mind, I decided to make my today's presentation about boilers too. Because if you look at it from the point of view of thermodynamics, everything's pretty much a boiler. A computer, well, mine is a boiler definitely. A car, a mobile boiler. A human, a squishy boiler. Because we all, machines included, just keep on exchanging heat, and there is some intricate relationship between exchanging information and exchanging heat. And as it turns out, it might actually help us solve the crisis computers are going to end up in a few years, give or take a decade. Because, see, computers lose information when they compute. And I blame the first mathematician. The first mathematician, they were a shell for the big boiler. Their maths, when they were just adding the notches on a piece of bone, definitely irreversible. Because from these notches, we have no idea if they were counting 3 deers plus 4 antelopes, 4 antelopes plus 3 deers, or 7 antelopes total, or if it were animals at all, or whatever they were calculating here. We don't know it from the result, just like we have no idea what the question is from Douglas Adams's result 42. And that teaches us that it's really important to remember the question and to remember the steps in between the question and the answer. And it turns out that it does not have just a pedagogical aspect to it. It actually has fundamental information related concept, which means that if you keep on losing information within your computer, you're bound to lose energy. And hence, you can't have a computer running on an energy of an, I don't know, a lighter. That would be nice. That would be really nice, but we don't have it yet. And you may ask why we don't have it and why am I doing this research right now, since we had computers since, I don't know, the 40s? Well, let me mix in another metaphor here, which will help. Say that in this reality or any other, the headquarters of the Irish Water, of Uisce Éireann, is built on top of a fairy fort. They got some nice land, they liked the place, they didn't care it was a fairy fort, and they built it there. And it was all grand, but the fairies, they've put a curse on the water system in Ireland. They said every pipe in Ireland will give us fairy tax of 1 liter of water per day. And the executives of Uisce Éireann were simply like, yeah, sure, why not? We have such a leaky system that loses 50% of the water we pump in anyways, so we won't even notice this fairy tax. But say in 30 years, when we finally come to our senses with respect to global warming and the climate change, and all of a sudden we have these brand new pipes that have a near zero losses, and we're all ready to keep every drop in, and yet now we hit the limit of the fairy tax. And now the executives of Uisce Éireann need to negotiate with the fairies. Well, let's put it this way. I'm negotiating with fairies right now so that we don't get to that impasse with computers in a decade or two.